which is, you know, a very devastating hold. And once he does get it applied, you're about finished. And I was determined not to get locked up in that thing. And I knew this match meant everything to me. And I felt this was the match that was going to finish everything once and for all. But I'm mistaken once again.
Here, of course, holding the man into a rear chin lock, and I notice you're down far on the throat. Obviously, the referee, after watching the tactics of the superstar earlier in the evening, allowing this to continue, but nonetheless, it was really a do-or-die situation for both of you. Now, the superstar attacking you outside of the ring.
Well, Gordon, let's face it, he was going to pull every trick in the book to try and rid me, so I had the same thing in my mind. If I had a chance to choke him, I was going to do so. I made everyone that made the statement that I was going to do anything and everything in my power to maintain right here, and I meant just that.
Well, they caught you coming off the ropes that time, and once again, is after your mask, trying to get that mask off, and of course, you were one step ahead of him.
Well, exactly right. I was one step ahead of him, and I made the statement that I was going to stay that way. And I got the fall. The guy, I went after the mask, which I had intentions of getting. He came after me once again, and he tried to remove the second one.
And, of course, the battle continues now, and he's after it, and now you're beginning to swing, and it's the referee trying to get things, order restored here. And, again, he catches you from behind, and he appears to be the kind of man that likes to jump people from behind.
Well, let's face it, the man made a statement. He's trying to back it up. I can understand that. He's a tough competitor, and I know exactly what he's made of. But he has to realize one thing. I've made a lot myself.
Well, of course, you can see the tremendous pressure the Stomper is putting on Briscoe at this time. Jack Briscoe, of course, former world heavyweight champion, and now the national heavyweight champion, an outstanding competitor. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come from the state of Oklahoma. No one can deny, however, the tremendous and awesome power and the devastating fury of this man, the Mongolian Stomper. But you can see here the Stomper hurtling the national heavyweight champion outside the ring and being warned by the referee. And again, the Stomper pressing every possible event. There you see Don Carson, his manager, on the outside. Now watch this. Now the referee's attention momentarily diverted by Don Carson. Now Carson did not get into the ring, but his presence outside the ring and diverting the referee's attention momentarily, one has to believe that this does give the Stomper certainly an added advantage. Again, you see Carson. And now, whether the referee was in an altercation there or what happened, I don't know. But the referee went down as a result of some sort of collision with Carson outside the ring again. And here's where Briscoe began to dominate the situation. The Stomper trying to reverse things. Now the referee knocked to one side. Briscoe has him up. A full slam. Jack Briscoe going for the figure four. And, of course, this is what... And there you see again Don Carson from outside the ring providing that diversion. And, all right, the count. But in my opinion, obviously, Don Carson being...
But for some reason or another, Steve Kerr kind of knew what kind of man Kevin Solid was, and he stood here and he watched pretty much of this whole match. And see, here I just couldn't take no more. I just was standing here thinking out to now, Tony, why in the world are you going right on this man? This man, he ain't thinking nowhere in the world about being nice to you. So I just decided to try to scramble his brain in the best way I knew how. That's with this Africa football. Steve, you got any comments you'd like to add to this?
Well, I think he's doing a pretty good job. You can see here Tony's got Kevin going real good. But I've been wrestling Kevin every once in a while. And, you know, I just can't believe the change in the man. But I knew what to expect, so I was standing there watching the whole thing because I've been watching every one of Sullivan's matches.
Sullivan in desperation here, of course, when he found that sleeper hold applied, got to the ring ropes just barely in time. Once again, you're back to a side headlock. He fires you up. You catch him with a good shoulder smash. The referee knocked aside.
In the way at this point, and I actually did hit the referee there. And there you see Kevin Sullivan. He dropped my pride and joy and everything across the rope. I don't know what to say at this point, but I knew I was in a lot of pain. The pain feel like it was going up my spine and stuff. You know, and here he gonna do the same thing again to me, trying to really, put me in the most pain possible. And Steve, lucky for me, he was just here watching all this. And later on in this film, you will see where Kevin Sullivan had to stoop to the lowest tactics possible in professional wrestling in order to attain the Georgia belt.
Which, of course, he did not do. A near fall at that point. Referee back, and now what is he doing here, Steve?
Yeah, he's got something there, Gordon. I can see that all the way from the back of the building. I saw where he pulled something out of his tights. And I figured that Tony was in trouble there. I thought he was going to get beat, but I've made it to the ring, and you see right there where I pulled it right out of his boot. Now he's looking for it. Realizes he doesn't have his equalizer. That's because I'm standing outside holding it.
Yeah, there goes Steve right there. See, Kevin, he forgot all. He's so busy trying to get that whatever he had to hit me with. He forgot all about. He's supposed to be wrestling me. So
But let's go back to the closing moments of that match. Harley Race, at this particular time, has things going his own way. Let's face it, the man has been a professional athlete for over half of his life. Exceptionally dangerous. He's 5 times world heavyweight champion. And Tony, he's got a hard punch.
Yeah, Harley Race, he's exceptional athlete, and if Harley Race stay in the wrestling long enough, I'd like to see Mr. Wrestling #2 or Steve or some of the other wrestlers right here in the area get a chance at Harley Race like I did, and maybe they got a little bit more experience than I do. Maybe they can come through and beat Harley Race. I'm going to go back to the gym, I'm going to train, and maybe about a year or so I'm going to try to defeat Harley Race.
Here, of course, you've got him in the sleeper hold. From there, you brought him up that full press over your head, and you were taking it better than 260 pounds at that point in time. And, Tony, right here, you had to feel like it was going your way.
Not really, because I appreciate that confidence, Mr. Solar, but I've wrestled Harley Race many times in the past, and I know from wrestling Harley Race, when you got him in that ring, you can't feel things in your way until that referee says 1, 2, 3 with you on top of Harley Race. So he's a man you don't really know when he. That's why I got mad at the referee right there, because I know what kind of man Harley Race is. But I know they got some wrestlers in this area that could do just as good a job, or maybe I know a better job than what I did, because the only better job you can do is defeat Harley Race. And I know we got wrestlers that could do it, like Wrestling 2, Steve-O, and Charlie Cook, and a host of others.
Here you had to take the battle to the champion. The champion leaving the ring, going on the outside, leaving the confines of the squared circle. It takes on the atmosphere here of a street fight. You were able to reverse things there and get that full Nelson on him. And again, you've got the champion in a lot of trouble, but the problem is you're both outside the ring.
That's right. See, now I tried to get back in the ring right there at that moment. Harley Race holds me to keep me from getting back in the ring, and I had to butt him in order to make back in the ring. But once I got in, the referee said that I was already counted out.
So once again, Harley Race, you see here, you thought you had it, and then suddenly you realized that it was not yours to have. And again, Harley Race, the thing that he prides most in the world is that World Heavyweight Championship belt.
He benefit us at all. It turned against us because we wind up with rules where the referee has no rights to do anything but count down shoulders, and that means that Hayes could get involved, and that he did. Now, you see, they nailed, at that point, Ted from the outside, and they took Ted and they ran him into the pole down there, the two of them together. Now, you see, that just leaves me in a situation to wrestle 3 guys. I got my Holt again, and I'm figuring somebody asked this man, does he give up? And about this time, then the 3 of them end up on me. Now, what they did here, they grabbed hold of each side of my legs and drove me in the mat as hard as they could.
And that time, I'm on the outside. I'm on the floor trying to get my head together and my senses together. By the time I came up, it was over. They had counted Robert's shoulders down. When I got up, I was unaware of the situation. I saw them with their hands in the air, and Robert laid out, and I knew that something had happened. And again, I just come in. I jumped on all 3 of them.
High over your head and slammed him to the canvas, and things were really beginning to roll your way.
Yes, sir. You know, I've been going to the European Health Spa and just boxing and everything, training with my main man, Robert Blunt, and we've been just lifting them weights because the man told me, he said, in order to beat Harley Race, you're going to have to be strong, you got to be quick. You just can't be on there to mess with the world. The king of professional wrestling, the heavyweight champion of the world. Anybody that think that ain't the champion, got another thing coming. I got a lot of respect for Harley Race, but I don't have so much respect for him that I want to get in the ring with him and give him one of them good old-fashioned whoopings like my mom used to give me when I get out of place. You see? So Harley Race, right now, the main thing on my man is to take my time and not get defeated. Because Harley Race is the kind of man, if you make that much of a mistake, Gordon, you know for yourself, you have watched this man last a minute, that's it. It's all over but the shouting man.
And the pinfall was Ole Anderson charging in, trying to upset that situation.
That this thing was put together. I cannot really understand why, but I was dumb enough to get involved in it. But I did. And coming out of it, Ole Anderson and myself did a fairly decent job of pounding the living you-know-what out of two individuals. Like I said before, Atlas, you're going to be mine somewhere. I'm going to take you and I'm going to prove to the people, especially to you yourself, Tony Atlas, that those big blowing up balloons are just exactly that, hot air. Because you're not going to intimidate me and get by with it. You may thought you cut a big fat you-know-what. But I'll guarantee you, you're going to pay for what you've done. You're going to pay the price that any individual has had to pay any time they come in the ring with the thought in mind of intimidating me and embarrassing me in front of a bunch of people. Atlas, I'm going to pound on you. I'm going to put something on you that Ajax won't remove, buddy. I don't care whether it be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio, right here in the Omni, or any other place around the world. The world's champion is after Tony Atlas. The coin has turned over, buddy. I'm coming after you, and I'm going to have you. I'm going to put you right back in that airport doing the work that you're used to doing.
Tom's laying in there. Some big 1-2s. Brody about 300 pounds. We eyeball to eyeball right now. Now, Brody understands only one thing, that's brute force. And here it comes right there. There's an atomic bomb dropping on him, spinning around, Gordon. When you're dealing with an element like this, when you're dealing with a person like Brody, there's a big slam. I'm going to tell you what, I weigh 3 pounds. Brody's he's a strong man. He's one of the strongest men in the world. We can't from him. But as I was saying before, he only understands one thing. And you've got to take it to him hard and fast. Here we go. Probably one of the first times that Brody's ever been off his feet in his life. And I gave him just a little extra added shove there because I was trying to injure him. He's taking control of the match right now, Gordon. He's got me outside. He's got me on the ropes just a little bit. So with a man like him, with a man like Brody, you got to watch every minute. Here he is right here. He's fixing to work me over. I'm fighting back to him in. He's got me hurt a little bit, Gordon. But I realize at this point right now that I've got to do something for the state of Texas. I've got to cut flew loose. Right into the post. Brody. Now, Brody's back in the ring. Every time we get together, this thing can start in the ring, but it winds up on the outside and winds up everywhere. Now, I'm fixing to lose my cool at this point. Here we are going, we're back outside again. We go all over the stadium. We go all over the arena. We're going down the aisle right there. It makes no difference. Here I am saying right here, I'm asking for a no disqualification match. No rule.